There were people online who were like, man, this is why you can't have drinking events in reference to Mang0's behavior at Beerio Kart. Like, this is why you can't have drinking events. It's stupid that you would ever glorify drinking. Bro, 24 people invited, 23 people got drunk, 23 people had a good time, 23 people were normal. Like, I'm sorry. Maybe I am controversial for this, but I don't mind getting drunk. When I get drunk on stream, I'm fine. I don't feel like I need to change my behavior because of the actions of someone else in terms of my own consumption of alcohol. I don't find like I need to do that. I don't have an issue with alcohol. Now, I know like in the moment, people get like a lot more sensitive about it, which I understand, but I don't know. I find that like a little overreaching. To be honest. Like, I'm making the changes necessary to prevent that from happening. But I don't think the issue was that I drink. I don't think that's the issue, is that I drink in content sometimes. So alcohol is good? No, overall, alcohol is probably just a bad thing. It's probably like a net negative for society, inarguably. But I like getting drunk sometimes. Does that make me a criminal? Should I be locked up for this? Should I be put behind bars? Yeah, I saw a lot of comments about like things I should have done. And some of them I think were a bit dumb. Some of them were like, you should have sober people at the event. And it's like, we did. Not everyone was drunk there. I don't know. We did have sober people. The people running the event were not drinking. So we did. If anything, I should make people who are not necessarily leaders of the event feel more empowered to do things at the event. That's probably the reality. But if you guys haven't seen the newest update, Mang0 tweeted out today, C9 dropping me. Probably getting banned from tournament, from Smash tournaments. Fucking shit, man. No one to blame but myself, man. Never thought I could hit this low. Probably won't hear from me for a while. I'm sorry, everyone. Wish I was better. I had it all and fucking tossed it in the trash can. And then followed up with an official statement from Cloud9, which said, we are aware of the recent incident involving Mang0. Fully acknowledge the concerns raised by our communities and partners. Following an internal evaluation, we've made the decision to release Mang0 from Cloud9. Regardless of tenure or accomplishments, the behavior demonstrated is completely unacceptable and directly conflicts with our organization's core values. Blah, 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 blah. I only say blah, 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 blah because it feels a bit corporate of a read. But yeah, Mang0 cut. And like, I guess possibly also getting banned from Melee tournament. You killed Mang0? Not even a little bit. I don't know if you're memeing or genuine. I feel zero guilt. I don't feel guilty at all. I think this is his own actions because he's his own man. He's an adult man. And me banning him like is the only thing that I did in response because I think it was the correct thing to do. And also, I think I specifically said, like, I'm not calling for him to be dropped or banned from Melee tournament. Like, I don't speak for Melee as a community. I don't speak for C9, obviously. I'm just controlling what I have control over. But it seems like a fun. I'm not gonna lie. I am surprised though. I am surprised he got dropped from C9 because they've stuck with him through, I guess, not necessarily worse moments, but like other dark moment in like fuck ups in his life, because he's been with them for a decade. He's been with them for, I think he's the longest tenured esports player on C9. Yeah, 11 years. So that's crazy. That's crazy. Some people were wondering, because I said I'm banning him from my events, if that means that I'm banning him from Smash events I'm running. I'm not running any Smash events. I have no plans to run any Smash events. They're hard to run, at least with my current relationship with Nintendo. I'm not allowed to run events at the scale that I want them to. I don't run Supernova. That is not a me question. That is their call. Supernova is not my event. Now, I am partnering with them because I'm going to go to Supernova and co-stream the event.
Sad.
But I don't run the event. It's not my event. That's not a mogul event. I'm just showing up by myself to stream it. So that's up to their call. Is LACS not the scale you want it to be? I can't run LACS at the scale I want to anymore. You're not allowed to do events with a certain level of prize pool anymore. Yeah, you just can't do that anymore. What about PSL? I'm confused by the question. Mang0's never gone to PSL one time, so I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about. Why do they limit the prize pool? I think it's a branding thing. It's purely like how they want their game to be seen. They want it to be inclusive. Everybody participates and not like competitive, sweaty. Like they want an 8-year-old to be playing alongside a 15-year-old for $0. That's their dream, which is why in Japan you can't even put a prize pool up. But I will see, man. I don't talk about it sincerely too often. I obviously, like, you guys know this about me, but my dad had a serious problem with alcohol. And his rock bottom was death, candidly. That's what the rock bottom for him was, is he never got the better of it. It got the better of him. And his life was like, he was 40, He was 40. He died at 44 years old. 43 years old, excuse me. Young, right? I'm very close, relatively
Hope
to the
you
age
don't feel bad.
that
it will
he
get
died
better
at.
less than 3.
And I've talked to Mang0 in the past. Like I've asked him probably 4 times, 5 times point blank, are you an alcoholic? And every time he's like, no, I'm not. And has gone months without drinking. So like I've taken him at face value, but like clearly it's like a problem. And so this is his rock bottom. Hopefully it's his rock bottom and he bounces back. Cause actually, he messaged me and we'll see, but he said maybe this will be a good thing in the long run, in the sense that maybe this is the wake-up call to go fully sober in 3 years, be a better person than he would be if this had never happened and he kept drinking and never got in trouble.
Ronaldo needs help.
Ronaldo needs help. Dude, Ron fans are crazy. I'm deadass talking about my dead father. And they're like, yo, Ron can't beat Mario Kart. That's crazy. Shut up. Oh, about your dad for a second. Sorry. It's just my streamer Ron can't beat Mario Kart. I don't think you're understanding. There's different stakes, right? Everyone has a dad. Ron has never beaten Mario Kart. But anyway, this is probably more severe than I expected the outcome to be for Mang0. I don't know if I'm alone on that. I did not expect him. I thought maybe he might get dropped because candidly, it also makes maybe economic sense for an esports team to cut a Smash player. So not to say that was their intention at all, but I'm sure there's some business aspect to it that they think about. But I'm a bit surprised by the Smash tournament ban, if that happens. But Mang0 saying he'll probably get banned from tourneys. I'm a bit surprised by that. Although, okay, real quick, and it is a more minor point. It is a more minor point to the broader thing here. Some people online, I think, are so disingenuous. There were some, because I see some tweets online and they allow no opportunity to actually think and consider a decision. Because I'll give you an example. I was getting messages from people saying, why are you not talking about the Mang0 thing? Before I was awake, I'm sleeping. And they're like, why are you not talking about this? Bitch, because I'm sleeping. I did it hungover in the morning when I woke up. And I see the same thing happen with C9 and then the broader Melee community. And I'm going to say it, bro. They're LARPers, right? They're not actually Smash community members for the most part. They're people who aren't involved in the community saying how could this community not take action on this? And it's like, in every instant, taking time is a good thing in every instant. But the issue is, and I'm not saying C9 did, and I know I didn't do it. I made my decision off of talking to the people affected at my event. I didn't give a fuck, I promise you, at anyone online who barked. Anyone on my Reddit who posted, regardless how many updates you get, I don't give a shit about you. I made my decision talking to the people like QD, Maya, Emily, whoever, which is what you should do. But I do think sometimes there's this online pressure from people who are as invested as watching a clip, tweeting, and then never participating in the community again. And then people make decisions based off of that back, which I think is dumb. I think that shit is dumb. And it happens all the time. It happens all the time. It is not exclusive to this event. It is so fake. It is so fake. But it's called cancel culture. Yeah, maybe. I feel like cancel culture has a weird connotation. I really think it's just drama frogs. Because you know what? And obviously a way different situation. There was a LSF thread, right? Live stream fail. Obviously dog shit community. But this clip got posted there, right? Of Ed.
You're here?
Taking the half gallon from Jason.
I'm still here.
He's still here.
Let me stream the game. Charge! 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 Yeah! Oh my God! What the fuck?
There's no way you can do that.
Let's go! I'm still in! I didn't encourage that.
Dude, I love when he says, I'm still Ed. I love that line. I'm still Ed. Ed didn't read the room. Ed did not consider QD would have to pay the cleanup costs. Crew would have to clean the mess up. And, there was a lot he didn't consider in the moment. And that clip got posted and people watched that clip and formed an opinion. This guy's a piece of shit, doesn't consider anyone at all. Typical stream viewers, fucking loser, should probably stick to, eating shit and dying, basically, right? But they don't see the moment because their entire opinions and lives come from clips and opinions they form, and then they move on because they don't actually give a they don't care. They don't care about the movie theater employee. They don't give a shit. In the moment, that's what they think, but it's not like they're following up like, hey, it was a movie theater employee, or they don't, it's all fake, right? It's just like, so they don't see the moment later where Ed comes up, tears in his eyes, clearly got caught up in the heat of the moment, excited to be on stream, not an opportunity he has a lot, not a position he's in a lot, obviously wasn't able to handle that, tears in his eyes, apologizing to each and every person, you know? It broke my heart, I won't lie, it broke my heart seeing Ed come up crying and just saying, I'm so sorry, you know, for making a bit of a fool of himself, you know, and just sitting there with that weight. Like, that's sad, bro. That's sad, you know? And there's such a inability, I find sometimes, to be a person. It's so hard to be a person, because to be a person, you have to be fallible. You have to be vulnerable. You have to fuck up. You have to be weak. And sometimes, like, you can't, because if you fuck up, then that's like the only thing people see, the only opinion people have. So anyway, I rock with Ed. I don't condone what Ed did in that moment. I think that was pretty dumb of Ed. Okay, I don't think he should have poured a whole half gallon of milk over his face. I think he went overboard. But I'm rocking with Ed. Okay, because sometimes we are all a little bit Ed. Okay, we're all a little bit Ed in this world. Sometimes we Ed it up, and that's okay. That doesn't mean we need to pretend that we're never Edding it up, that we're infallible and awesome, perfect people who have never embarrassed ourselves. So I've posted on Instagram, but Ed, I don't know if I ever heard from you. Ed, you are invited to Streamer Games. We are workshopping an Ed portion at Streamer Games. I'm thinking it's the milk mile. All right. We get all our competitors to run a milk mile. We'll figure it out. We'll see. I don't know if the track will let us do that, but we got to figure some shit out with Ed, bro. Ed, we're getting you back. We're getting you back, man. I don't like how the people online talk about you.